Hey, here we go again. Another opportunity to come up here and talk to you folks. Thank you for carving out a few minutes once again to hang out with us, conversations with Geoff. We value your time, your support, and all the comments that you've shared along the way. And yes, I got to tell you, you want to make sure, once again, you're ready to bring the guest on. You've got pencil and paper. I mean, she's a dynamite person here in Houston, and I've got to know her and get her energy and get her grace, all those things. So be ready for that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you something that's going to be, as always, someone that's going to come in here and from a humble perspective, dynamite gifts, and drop them on you so you too can find that purpose. So you too can finally break free from that chatter, that stinking thinking that we like to talk about in this community. You know that stuff that says, who do you all think that you can do, whatever that might be? Remember what it was when you tried the last time? You tried dieting, how many of us are fighting with that? And you're not successful with that, or relationships I've already mentioned, or careers. So many things that is all fed by that stinking thinking, right? Oh, man. Woo! I was just chatting with her before I came on, and man, I tell you what, so you've been warned, all right? You want to make sure you're ready. You want to make sure that you're ready. So I want to thank everybody. I always have a few notes because, I'm kind of that squirrel person. So it's a good thing to have some notes, as always, like tells you. And I want to thank my team. And again, everybody that's here today, make sure you're subscribing, setting up the notification bell, putting thumbs up when you hear this message. Let's get this word out to as many people as we can. It's important to provide a space where people can come, be comfortable, not judged, and walk away with some stuff that they can do and use in their life right now. That's our mission, our purpose. Man, I'll tell you, it's really simple, and it's really to kind of help you become aware of, conscious of, right? That stinking thinking that goes on. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, I raised my hand because I got cold and some other stuff, so I didn't get up like I normally get up. Right? I had to pour more into my conversation with Geoff about, okay, man, look, it's another day, another opportunity. Just hit the reset button. Let's try this again, right? Because I was going down that old pity party part, that path that some of us go sometimes, right? So being aware of it, being conscious of it, man, and then taking deliberate action to replace it. I just told you what I did, right? I mean, I was moving around, I was sluggish, and then 2 minutes after talking to myself, and listen to me when I tell you this, the most important conversation that you're going to ever have is with yourself about yourself. So I ask you, how are you doing with it? What conversation are you having? And can you change it? Yeah, you can. You probably need to, right? Okay, so that's 2. And then number 3 is to be deliberate. I mentioned deliberate. Determined, number 3. To make a difference. It's going to take practice. It's not going to be easy. Nothing that's worth having is never going to be easy. Let them hand something to you and it's easy, you better run. Right? Because there's something else behind that. I'm telling you, that's my life story, right? So remember those 3 things and do those things without stopping. Because I wrote something down here and I talked to myself, and here's what I came up with. And it's talking about, we could talk all day about motivation. We could talk all day about, transformation and all those other things. But man, we have to really get down to the core of why this thinking is there. Where was the root of it, right? And anybody know anything about weeds? Weeds, if you pull out a weed, man, first of all, if you can get it out of the ground, you've done something. Then when you pull it out, that weed is about, the root on the weed is about that long, right? I mean, that's how long and how deep that stuff goes in us. So we really need to be able to dig down deep, get to what it is that started that source. What's the source of this thinking? Look at it, identify for what it is, right? And then begin to recognize what you can use to replace it, like we talk about. And now we're going to a full-blown course around all the stuff I'm talking to you about. So I just want to tell you this, that it's possible that you can change your life by changing how you think. You got to do the work. What you say to yourself is so important. Hung by the Tongue is an amazing book. If you haven't read it, go out and get it, right? And I'm going to get off to the subject. And if you're dealing with conversations with your family, your coworkers, I'd like you to think about velvet words. Words that soft, words that touch, words that inspire, words that encourage, words that empower people. And that's what our guest does, right? I mean, she's amazing, not only with the folks that are in her business, but the people that come, that she serves, just an amazing person in that space. So, and I want to share this quote before I bring her on, kind of it's indicative of who she is. I'm gonna read it so I don't mess it up. Success is not about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in other people's lives. Oh man. And this person, my friend, she is all about that. And she's been successful, humble, very successful. So ladies and gentlemen, let me just highlight to you where I'm at. She owns a woman of color business called the Hot Towel in Houston, Texas, which is a female staffed barb her shop. Write the word down, barb her shop, right? And not barbershop. There's a difference. And man, that industry is competitive, it's male dominated, and this woman is kicking butt. All right. She and the staff in there is just anyway. Stop talking, Geoff, so you can get to it, right? All right, I got you. All right, so now, and so she loves the community. She's a mom, daughter, and friend, colleague, giver. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring you to another conversations with Geoff. Make sure you're ready. Get your pen and paper out. Tinisha Cox from Houston, Texas, otherwise known as Miss Nish. What's up, lady?
Hey, how's everything?
Fantastic. Fantastic. Thanks for hanging out today.
Glad to be here.
We're glad you're here. So, I talk a lot about different things, Nish, and we were talking before you came on, and I really want to say thanks again for taking the time out and showing up here, because I know, man, you have been a key part of my life. Right? And those, she takes care of me, ladies and gentlemen. So I know I need to go see her. If you can see that, without a way. But she does a tremendous job in this space. But she also is a caring and giving person. Sometimes just by listening. Sometimes just by being present. So how did you? Is that a natural thing for you, Nish? That part of your personality? Tell me about it. What is that about for you?
Yes, it is. My mom is amazing, and she's given so much to her children. We follow suit a lot in how she lives her life. But basically, we have big hearts, and we give, constantly giving. How can we empower others? How can we pour into other people? What can I do to help? Just being a lifeline and a platform, or just an outlet for someone is a great feat. I'm glad that my mother has poured so much into her children to be able to give us those same attributes when we're dealing with people.
So that's beautiful. So now, how do you kind of shield yourself? Because people, everybody got their hand out. So
Everybody.
How do you protect yourself?
It's hard. It's very hard. Sometimes you just have to stop and whoa, if you're constantly pouring, you're emptying out your cup. Yeah. So with that being said, sometimes you just have to stop it. You have to draw the line. You have to be that person to say when enough is enough. Otherwise, we deplete. You're depleted, and I've been there. Yeah. I've been there, but I'm learning to pull the rein back as well.
Yeah. So what I hear you saying is setting some boundaries are important.
Yes, indeed.
It's so hard with family members. We talk family members usually, right? People you know.
Well, it's really not my family. It's others around me, because they know my energy. They know the type of person I am. And I'm just a giver. So, I'm like, some people have no other outlet or no one to call on. And they know I'm dependable, Yeah. I'm not going to put myself under, but, I do my best. I do my best.
No, I'm glad you said that, because it's not always family. It's usually people that see you in the community and recognize your spirit and do that. So
yeah.
Family, you mentioned it, and your mom being a critical part of who you are today. And as I was listening to you talk about your mom, I was kind of holding back tears, because our mom was gone, right? And she was that, she was I mean, I'm part of who she is today, right? I mean, relentless, resilient,
Definitely.
honest and generous. So I thank you for sharing that. It just helped me remind us and me of that stuff. So let's talk a little bit about business, because I know that you're successful in an industry. I mentioned to you that is. I love the name Barbershop too. So, what can you tell us or the audience that's really kind of thinking about that, other females and men? Because you don't discriminate. I mean, you help all folks, right?
Yeah.
What can you drop on this niche that what you went through, what you.
A lot of it is when it's your vision or God has given you the vision. Keep it between you and God, because when you start adding all the extra peoples and you should do this and your vision gets lost. It's like, is it your dream or is it theirs? So my thing was actually coming in and making a space that I desire to have. When I'm not at home, that's my other home. I'm there more than I'm in my regular home. Those hours, of being there, cleaning, working, it's just a constant production. So basically, when you write it down or if it's hidden in your mind, let your vision be your vision. Keep the naysayers, and it's okay to get an opinion here and there for certain things as far as guidance. But when you paint the picture of what you want, stick with that. Stick with that, because like I said, all those birdies will have you going, you swaying, and you get off track. So.
Yeah, no, that's so true. The people get excited when they have this, and then they run and tell somebody, and they'll not only get them off track, but then they'll start looking at them like,
yeah,
we have that next look and all that too. So you can find in the circle of influence when you start having that vision. Right?
Definitely.
And you did that. Did you have to cut some relationships off in your journey that you didn't think?
Yeah, I feel it. I'm a firm believer of prayer, and this heart is big, so it's sometimes you want to carry the bags, you want to carry them. But my prayer, and it's something that I embedded in my children. When you ask God to remove what is not beneficial to you or doesn't mean you any good, He will do just that. Sometimes you don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
And He'll remove it right out the way. So that's less stress on you. But yeah.
Boy, that's good.
Yeah.
But is it? I mean, did you always go to God right away, or is that something you had to learn?
I had to learn it. Like I said, always trying to be a people pleaser and hating to say no, and you take on a lot. And at some point in time, you have to use some discernment for you.
Yeah.
Because when you're gone and you're depleted, who's filling you back up? Who's that shoulder to lean on? So you got to preserve self as well.
So how do you do that if you've never done it before? What can you share with?
Step back and find out who you are. Like really look at self. Like what makes Nish Nish or Tinisha Tinisha? And when you get in tune with self, then you know your limits, and you know how much you can put out and how much you need to pull back. Yeah. So putting self first is not selfish. To me, it's more selfless, because you gotta look out for you. You have to.
It's so important, and I hear you talk about people pleasing. And part of my journey, man, I was all about that. I didn't know that at the time. I was whatever it was that people would allow me to be a part of their groups and all those things.
Excuse me.
Or helping people that didn't deserve to be helped, just because I wanted. This is mine, not yours. But it was part of my makeup before a new way to live, right? And so it's been turning out to be really fantastic. But when you do that, you hurt some feelings and you recharge. Do you ever have any regrets for the people that you may have had to recirculate someplace else or change?
No. No.
Yeah, there you go.
It goes how it's supposed to go. Now, if you continue, if you ask God or you have that discernment to remove certain things and you continue to keep hearing everything that goes wrong, that's you. That's a choice that you made. We do
Yeah,
have discernment.
that's right.
If
That's
you
the
ask to release it, release it. It's gone for a reason. You needed it to be removed for a reason.
yes, yes. And that word discernment is such a. I mean, that's one gift that as human beings we all have.
Yes.
And the difference between us and the animal is that we can have that discernment, use that discernment. Do different
Yes.
things. But you know, it's. I look at it as it's. I had to practice that muscle, that discernment muscle, and really to believe that it, you know, I'll be okay once I do something different,
Yes.
and the patience in that. So, do you have any feelings like that too in the process, or share?
Mm, I always bet on me, and I know uh, I'm a winner. So
Always.
I may fall, but I know how to get up, dust myself off, and keep it moving. It may not be this path. I may need to take a sharp turn here, but I'm going to get to my destination. That's my drive and my force. For years, because my clientele was so large, my clients, why don't you open your own shop? Why don't you open your shop? It's more to it than me just stepping out, making my own shop or opening my own shop. Like I said, that's where I kind of the overthinker, all of
Yeah,
those things. Like, oh, can you do this? But then when you learn to always bet on you and you know your strengths, at the end of the day, with God first, who can be against you? So,
yeah, yeah. I love wrote that down in big letters. Always bet on you,
yeah,
you know, and God. It's like a team. You and God. You know, I always say the thing. You know, I pray like it. You know, I work like it depends on me, and I pray like it depends on God. You know, and
yeah.
that's always worked. There's a message today, but and let me find it because this is something Stacy and I have done. We spend time in the mornings doing some readings and that. And this one today was it's funny. Can I share it with you? And I'm gonna share it anyway. I'm gonna actually be polite. You know, it says, "Be strong and courageous." It's Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them. He was talking to his people. For it is the Lord your I am your Lord. And so fear is something that man.
It is something.
So how did you I mean you talked about starting to bet on you, but before you got to that point, and I always say this to overthinkers, right? Because I'm the opposite. You know, I'm that dude just gonna jump off and build my wings on the way down. And Stacy, my wife, you know, she's a thinker. So is it I always ask this question and ask her, so what part of in this thinking process,
Mhm.
what, this thing early on for you, what part of it is the fear? How much of the fear is blocking the next step in the thinking process?
I think we all are afraid of failure.
Mm.
That's the main chokehold of fear.
Mm.
Failure.
Mm.
What if I fail? What if I'm not successful? What if all the what ifs?
Yeah.
But what if you're not?
Yeah.
Growing up, I had to, like
Mm.
all my friends were, you're the most positive person I know. I had to become that
Mm.
because it's so easy to fall in the chokehold of negativity. That's easy.
Right.
It's more of a fight to think of a positive outlet. So when I started making that my go-to, always look for a positive over the negative, positive over the negative, faith over fear. All of those things
Yeah.
that
Um,
carries you. That carries you.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
carries you. Because people, oh, the weather is about to be bad. I got to get out of here. You're going to leave here to go get in the bad weather. You're safe here. So make it make sense. I mean, that's just my thought. Like, in my industry, if it starts raining bad, you're going to stay here? Yeah, I'm safe here. I'm not going to get out in that, not knowing what's out there. When I'm safe here, I know what's here.
Yeah.
Covering, safety. That's my mentality. Literally, that's my mentality.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, I like to kind of relate what you're talking about to exercise, right? And kind of like the muscles. And as you're talking, I could just see you in there. Belief, faith, right?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, it's automatic. It becomes an automatic thing. So the people that are listening or hear this recording understand it. The key thing that she's talking about here is it took practice, and as a result of the practice, it becomes an automatic thing. So, this, I want to get to this before we run out of time. And so, all these things in the industry, and how long have you been in the hair business?
20, 23, 21 years now.
21 years now, and you've shared that you're looking at, it's more of a purpose now, and not so much a passion, and you're thinking about doing some other things. So what are some of the conversations you're having with yourself about what life may look like?
Yeah, I mean, standing on my feet all these hours, the constant move, you start, I'm 51 now, so I start feeling a little extra body aches, but I love to cook. I started a platform for a business in 2021 during the pandemic. Just opening my eyes to something else that I'm passionate about. So basically the business plan has been put in place. I've done a few things, but now I'm going back and reset my business plan to get everything lined up how I desire to have it. Of course, it's more work, but I don't feel like I'll have to do it to the extremity that I do cutting hair. I mean, right now I only work 4 days a week in my shop, and I eventually desire to be 3 days.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like, and then tap into my other realm, which is the food industry.
Food industry.
Yeah.
So food. I didn't know you were a foodie. I should have guessed that.
Well, I'm not. This is the thing. I'm not. I come from a long line of people in the kitchen. Grandmother, she was the queen of the cafeteria growing up at school. So we've known that. And then, my mother and her siblings, same thing. My cousins, we all cook. So my other business is called Fins and Bones, which is fish and chicken. Cut and dry. Nothing else, fish, chicken, or fries. With fries. That's it. Cut and dry. So I've been catering here and there, but the ideal is to branch into a food truck. And so that's what I'm working on. That's my other passion.
Yeah. So you say the name of it was Fins and Bones?
Fins, Finz and Bones. Fins and Bones.
So that's fish and chicken.
Yep.
Oh man, all right. So now you up and about serving that?
Yeah, I've had a couple of catering events. Catered the year before last for Willow Ridge's class reunion. Catered for a 70th birthday party. Just some parties and things of that nature. But yeah, that's a passion of mine. I love it. I love seeing the smiles when people are eating, and another line of what I do already. Because when they get out the chair, the smiles and the conversation, just another gift of service in a sense. We were the Hot Towel Barbershop was actually inside of a nursing facility until the pandemic hit, and under some guidelines that we didn't want to adhere to, we had to sever ties. But yeah, I love giving back. I love giving back. So
Yeah, and your whole shop feels that way, right?
yeah, great group of ladies. Great group.
Great group of ladies, and everybody steps up. All the customers that are in other chairs, everybody's having a conversation. I mean, it's like it's a place to go. It's a place to get the good quality service. It's a place to get a good look if you need that. And build some relationships. So I'm sure that Fins and Bones is going to be dynamite as well. So, I'm glad he shared that, so we kind of get that word out and do those things. So, and I should have known you were a cook.
I just look like this. That's what I say. I don't talk about much. I just show you. I show up and show out. That's it.
Yeah. And that's so true. For those of you that don't feel like you have to talk a lot, she is a woman when she's working a few words, but she just gets the work done and does a fantastic, fabulous job. So I'm glad that we encountered each other.
Definitely.
Supposed to be that way.
Y'all my family, you know that, right?
Yeah, that's right. yeah, same here, girl. You know that. So, all right. So look, we kind of running close to time, and tell folks where you're located and your hours and all that good stuff. Have you got anything else you'd like to share?
Okay, we are the Hot Towel TX, located at 2400 Augusta Drive, Suite 285, which is inside of a professional building. Houston, Texas 77057. Telephone number 713-314-0871. We are on the social platform of Facebook and Instagram. Also have a website, www.thehottoweltx.com. We book online. We prefer appointments, but we also do walk-ins. And once you click on the link for the website, it's pretty user-friendly. There's 3 other ladies inside of the shop as well, and all do great work. If it's not with me, I won't feel bad because I love to pour into the shop. So, but yeah, we would love to see anyone. We welcome all.
Yeah, and that's true too. And when Nick wasn't able to do me a couple of times, I've had Miss Pat. Hi, Miss Pat, out there that kind of stepped in and did a tremendous job too. So, Miss, I want to thank you for doing that. But man, what is it? What parting words when we talked about being successful? Well, we didn't talk much about the success in the dominant male environment. But you shared about how you deal with things in terms of protecting your dream, in terms of working on, the positive side of you, making it out of practice, right? And just kind of who you are and the resilience that you show. Have we left out anything, or do you have one last piece that you'd like to leave with the audience as we wrap this thing up?
For anyone that is wanting to tap into whatever your dream is, don't put the limitations upon yourself, because really you're your only limitation. That's my standing stance. Your only limitation is you. So if you limit yourself, you're limited. Anybody outside of that, it's just birdies out there. So just follow your dream. Follow whatever your dream is and go full throttle. Because when you accomplish that, it's the best feeling in the world.
Say that again. And I'm only going to say this because you brought it up. Now, look, don't make an excuse about being too old. Not that 50 is old, but moving into another direction in the business with the same zeal. I see it in your face. I hear it in your words that you did when you probably started the other business. No excuses here.
None.
Fine. Make that decision. Circle yourself around the people that you want to be like and want to share in similar things, and always bet on me.
Always.
Always.
You caught it.
Oh, hey, well, listen, my friend, it's that time for us to wrap it up. I really appreciate it. It's been a
Thank you for
pleasure.
having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us, and we'll get this recording out and the replay, and man, this one just like I thought it would. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, back at you. I'll be seeing you before Christmas too.
All right.
All right. Take care now.
Bye-bye.
All right. Hey guys, listen. I told you. Please make sure you get this out and share this as information in this discussion that we had today. I mean, a lot of powerful nuggets along the way. No excuses. Betting on yourself. Right? Being willing to go a different direction, knowing that you're going to be okay. I mean, just so many different things that you can gain from her. And stop by her shop, right? I mean, call her up. And if you know somebody that's looking for someone, that hot towel stuff is amazing, right? They hook that up. So please, please, please support her however you can. And as I wrap this thing up, I want to remind you of the quote I talked about at the beginning. Power, before I do the quote, the power truly is in your comeback. You're going to be facing something. You're either in it, getting started, or you just got out. And whatever that is for you, what did you learn? What was the lesson? What's the magic that you walked away from? Because I'm going to guarantee you, if you started and you got to the other side, you've elevated yourself, right? That's what we're talking about here. Finding the magic in your mess. And really, I don't know if you saw it, I did. She feels this new venture that she's talking about, in the current venture, she's serving in her purpose, right? And those of you who are not sure and talking about all these things, you need to hear this message again. Go back and watch this session. Fear does not have to be the thing to hold you back. Learn how to make fear your ally. Learn how to make criticism your ally. Learn how to make rejection. Yeah, that's a tough one. Your ally. And we talk a lot about how you can do that. So hit me up in the chat or lift my information in there if you're really looking for a way to step out of the darkness, step into your light, step into the purpose that you're meant to be in. And I believe I'm the guy that can help you get that. So hit me up on the information. And remember this, we ask you to subscribe to this channel, share this session with as many people as you can. Go back and listen to it. And remember, no longer be stuck by that stinking thinking. Step into your purpose. And I'm going to read this as I go. There is nothing more important to true growth than realizing that you are not the voice of the mind. You are the one that hears it. Woo! That's from Michael Singer. Go check that out. That's deep. You're not the voice. You're the one that hears it. What are you going to listen to? Start changing that today. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a fantastic time. Stay tuned this Thursday. We got a short session coming up, Conversation with Geoff. And we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks again to my friend.